Yeah. So good afternoon to all. Today we have a live demonstration in the printer machine available in our lab. We have the Olivetti 3D printing machine in our sim lab. This will be handled by Mr. Bala Srinivasan. I'm happy to introduce Mr. Bala Srinivasan, one of my colleague in the department. He completed his BTech, BE and ME from Anna University and joined us in 2011. Till now, he is available with us. He's a very energetic person. Will be always active and doing various works. He is actively doing a lot of works in the SAE. He has organized various events in collaboration with SAE. He is also doing a lot of research works. Already he have published four journal papers and many conference publications to his credit. And his research area is beer and welding. So currently he is in charge for this lab and he is handling this 3D printing machine and is doing a lot of works on this 3D printing machine. So it's my privilege to welcome you to these sessions, Mr. Bala Srinivasan.
Thank
Over
you
to
for
you.
the very what is it, wide information, sir. Thank you for the introduction. So we'll move directly to 3D printing, sir.
Yes.
So yeah, as of the sessions, what we have seen in the previous days, it was like overview how to do and what are the science behind additive manufacturing. So this was taught for the all the sessions. All the participants, I welcome for the session. This will be for fully a live demo. So what I have planned for today is we will be having the software that is like in our institute we have Creo. That software is used for modeling your CAD data. That is in the extension for the Creo is .prt. But most of the 3D printers will be accepting all the files in terms of .stl file format, or you can have other file formats like .stp step file or obj object file. And we have lots of file formats for 3D printer. It depends on corresponding 3D printers. So far, all the sessions was discussing about only those how to use the printer and what how the printer works. But we will try to see how to feed your input to the 3D printer, like what is the exact file and how to feed your printer with the corresponding STL file at all, and what are the basic steps to be uh, presented or typed in for printing. So what we have is in our institute we have one printer which is of name brand is like Olivetti S2 3D. Yes, sir. So okay, we have Olivetti 3D S2 printer, and this is the specification for our printer. Like we can print a maximum size of 400 cube. So X is again 400 Y is again 400 and Z is again 400 So we can print a 400 cube. So this is the size we have, and your X and Y axis tolerance is 80 microns, and Z axis tolerance is 0.01, that is 10 microns. And we can have the extruded temperature to be maximum of 285 degrees, and you can print any material which is having melting point closer to 285 degrees. So it is not restricted to certain materials. It can be having any materials whose tolerance or the melting point melting temperature can be closer to 285 degrees centigrade. So this is for the printer which we have in our institute. This varies upon the printer make and dimensions and all. So for metals, you can go beyond 1000 degrees centigrade, and all the printers work on the same principle. So what we have is a triple F or FDM printer, a fused deposition modeling printer. So we are going to have the filaments as the material input that will be melted and printed as layers, and that will be for your printing. So I will be showing some parts which has been printed for you. That is, this is for your identification. So this is actually your SLS type printed one. SLS is selective laser sintering. So this is one kind, and what we have is this model is actually FDM printed. This is actually one hexagonal pyramid. So we have this as one FDM printed. I have printed all these models. That is, so these are several models, and this is exactly your SLS kind, and this one is the same model with FDM, fused deposition modeling, and this is your SLA. So same model has been printed using SLA, stereolithography process. And these are some of the models which we have printed in our institute. So these are total models we have printed. So this is actually one actual component of a product that is it is actually on Baha air intake for totally entire product. And we have, so these are the products which we have printed, and we have many more also. So I have displayed only some parts, and this is actually our machine. So this is actually one Olivetti S2 3D printed machine. So we have two nozzles, or we have two extruders here. One is for what we have focus is one is fed with black colored, and another is fed with white colored filament. So you can have n number of filaments. In our printer, we have only two. The number of extruders is two. So we will start with Creo, sir. So I'm going to present the entire screen. Yes, yes. Like I have created one model. So this was the model I have printed for the demo here. So this is actually one model. So I'm going to open that. This model is in an extension of .prt. So Creo is restricted to .prt, or we can have n number of file types. So this is the model I have modeled for today's session. So we have one rectangular block. Onto that we have one hollow cylinder, and we have 4 holes in that. So for how to feed your 3D printer with the corresponding input file, so we are going to see that. So first thing, we can have the CAD model. It is not restricted that it should be in PRT only. So it can be of any model, no problem. First thing, you need to convert that file to a stereolithography input file. So for example, in our institute, that is we have Olivetti S2 only. So this takes only .stl extension files, or you can go with .stp files. We are using open source softwares for feeding the 3D printers. That is, one software is Repetier Host, and one software is another software can be used as Cura. So these two are we are using. So Repetier Host is used for directly printing our materials via from the computer itself. But Cura we are trying to feed in via memory card. No computer is required, so we can directly create the program codes and save it in a memory card, and we will directly feed your 3D printer alone. No need of any computer at all. So that will be useful for like the products which can be running more than 6 or 8 hours. So for that there is no need for computer and all. So just the code via memory card is more than enough. So for that we are using Cura. If the models are small, we are feeding it by computer based on your Repetier Host. Okay, so for that, first in Creo, we are going to save this file as .stl. So we have several extensions .prt, .ed, .igs, .stp. stp can also be fed for your 3D printing, and you can have obj object file also can be used. 3mf can be used. So these are some of the extensions we can use, but we are trying to extrude in terms of stereolithographic file, STL file. Here we'll have several details to be considered. The one thing is, while extracting that, it will be asking for chord height and angle control. So chord height is nothing but if I have some circle, usually CAD doesn't understand circle. It can be a point of like joining of lines only. So the length of the line can be as short so that your circle will be closer to circle. If not, it will be a polygon. So this chord height should be as low as possible to make our model as look like a circle and all. So your chord height should be as low as possible. Similarly, your angle control, again it should be as low as possible. STL file will be generating triangles. Okay, so this entire area will be split into triangles. So for example, if I'm going to give as like chord height 0.1, we will check how it is looks like. So these are the number of triangles, and this will not be a circle. So when I'm going to print this, this will not be a circle. You try to reduce the chord height as low as possible so that we can have a well, close a circle. Again, this is not a circle only, it is again polygon, but the number of sides of the polygon has been increased, so it will be looking closer to as a circle. So we need to have this chordate as low as possible, as well as your angle control. So angle control should also be as low as possible. So 0, closer to 0. So again, this will lead to a proper circle. So this is how we are going to convert any three-dimensional object, that is .prt file or .sldprt or .igs, .stp, any file we need to convert it as 3D file, that is .stl file. So this is the first step, first and foremost, and we need to change the angle and your chord height. Okay, so that is about your Creo. So that is all about your Creo. Then we are moving into our software, that is your Repetier host. So all the 3D printers are working behind your microcontroller. So all the extruders will be controlled by a microcontroller. So programming of this microcontroller can be done by any means. So what we are using is two softwares. One is Repetier host and one more is Cura. So I am going to explain with your Repetier host alone. So please follow that. The Repetier host, is that visible for you? Okay, sir. So this is the basic layout of your Repetier host software. This is actually open source software. This is not cost and all. So first thing is we can load our object. So what is the STL file we are working on? We try to load that. That is what I have exported is training. That's all. So open that. So that model will be loaded onto the bed. So we can have this model in the same dimension, or we can have we can enlarge the scale, or you can reduce the scale of the object here. So we have several options. This one is center. Okay, so we can place the object in the center of the table. So this work table is 400 cross 400 mm. So that is the as per our printer requirement. So this is actually your scaling. So you can scale up or you can scale down the corresponding model, and we can orient this product. So if I am going to keep it like this, we don't need any support structure to be printed. So you need to place your workpiece in that way, so that we need to ignore or reduce the place of support structure. For example, if I am going to place it in this manner, so it is actually suspended. So we have suspended feature. So this suspended feature should be printed with support structures. So without that, this blocks will not be forming. So without support structure, these pieces will be falling off. So we need to have support structure. So try to have your orientation of the product, so that we are trying to reduce the support structure as much as possible. And in the morning session also, designed for 3D manufacturing, you will be have been said with these things and all. Okay, so then you try to place your product as like this is for convenience of removing only. So you can be placing anywhere in the work table. So it is not necessary that only one part can be printed at a time. We can print n number of parts at the same time, but try to have like total length size of the table is 400 cross 400 mm. So you can have n number, but it's restricted to the total size of 400 cross 400 mm. So within that, you can have n number of parts to be printed. So then, so after your orientation is over, we are going to choose our extruder. So we have object group 1 here. So this is actually the model name which I mentioned as training, and this is the extruder kind. So extruder number, we can have 16 extruders in this software, but in our case we are going to use only 1 and 2. So we will start with 1 itself. If needed, we can go with 2. That is the extruder number. So then we have slicer. So slicer is going to give this is actually the control parameters in your 3D printing tools. That is, so first thing, what you have print configuration, which I already mentioned it. So adhesion type for 3D printers can be 3 major things. One is brim. So brim will be one flat structure which will be printed below your workpiece. or your corresponding model. So that is called as a brim. Then we have raft. Raft means you will be having one rectangular block itself as a support structure. First, it will print a rectangular block for approximately a height of 5 mm or so. Then your actual model will be printed. So that is actually raft. So brim is just a one layer thickness of one rectangle or corresponding shape based upon your model. It will cover the entire model. Then we have one more thing called a skirt, SKIRT. So that will print only a line outer to this model. Then we have quality. Quality is 0.15 mm. So 150 mm is the nominal diameter, because the nozzle what we have is 0.4 mm, and due to this melting, we can print diameters 1.75 mm diameter of filament. So we can have the quality to be 0.15. So this can be controlled based on the printer kind. So if your nozzle is very small, then we can go with a very low value. If the nozzle is larger, if you go with the quality as very fine also, it will not be able to print. So we need to choose this based on the nozzle we have in the printer. Then we have support type. We can have everywhere, or you can have only touching the bed. So in the case of cantilevers, we don't need to have everywhere. We can have only touching beds. Okay, then we have print speed. So we have several parameters which disturb. If the print speed is slow, your model will be as solid as possible, because the amount of flow of the fluid material will be in a good state, so that your model will be in a good structure. It will be more stronger. Again, if your print speed is fast, your model will not be as rigid as possible. So we need to have some optimum speed. Then we have infill density. So this model, if any model to be printed as a visualization for understanding. Okay, sir. We have infill density. Infill density is nothing but we have. It's something like, if I am going to print a cube, I will be printing only as a shell. Shell means like external surfaces. I am for a cube. I am going to print only 6 surfaces. So actual solid cube I am going to print, but you can print with a very lesser weight. That means the external shells can be printed, the 6 surfaces, and the inner parameters can be filled with a very low amount. This is for when you are not using the model as a functional element, only for seeing, visualizing the product. If you are going to print, it doesn't need all the materials to be printed. We can have the external structures alone. So based on the infill density, if your infill density is maximum, the inner space will be filled with the maximum amount of material. If your infill density is lesser, your inner space will be filled with a very lesser amount. So for any functional products, you should be having infill density more than 80%, because due to expansion, it will go closer to 90%. So your infill density should be 80 to 100% when you are going to use the product for a functional element. If you are going to keep the model as just for a visualization parameter, so no need to have that as for 80%. You can have it as only 5 or 10, whatever is convenient for you. So this takes the time of printing as well as the material used for the printing. So infill density is maximum means it will take more time to print, and it will take more material to be printed. Then infill density is less means, again your material will be not so strong, and your time to be printed will be small, and the material used will be again lesser. So these parameters we can control and we need to change. So this depends on the product. It is not same for any case, all the cases. Okay, so we have slicer. So this is actually an STL file. Now we need to convert this file into layers. So for that we have slicer. Actually we are having slicing based on your Cura engineer. So this is actually my sliced part. So this is my layers. So these are layers. So this is my first layer. Then your second and third, it goes on. And actually this is actually the entire surface is filled with, and we have this in between layer. So can you able to see the single only 2 or 3 lines? So if the infill density is maximum, we will be having more number of area to be filled here. I have given the infill density to be 5%, so only 2 or 3 lines are drawn here. So this way you can reduce the usage of material also, but you can visualize the material. This apply for all the things. Clear? Yes, sir. So we can move your layers to understand how it has been sliced. Your base, how it is sliced, you can see here. And if your infill density is maximum, these materials will be filled. If not, we can have very less number of materials here. So that is about your slicing. So slicing, and this gives your estimated printing time and how much. What about the filament length you're going to use? So it is from the extruder 1 and it is not from extruder 2. So all the details will be filled here. And this also shows layer count. So 99 is the total number of layers for the corresponding model we have used. Then we have manual control here. So once again, this is actually my initial home position for the extruders. So your extruders can be moved. So this is based on your manual control. So you can see the control here, and we can move the Z also. So this is actually I'm lowering the bed for applying glue. It is not necessary to apply glue for all the materials. If your material is we are not going to use for heating of the material, then you can apply with glue, no problem. This is based on PLA, polylactic acid kind of material. So don't over apply your glue. Just apply only once. Only one layer of glue is more than enough. And try to apply exactly where your model is going to be printed. Don't apply all the places. For our case, I'm trying to have it in the front end of your table. So I have applying it over here. Then in this case, like we have several things here, like your fans can be switched off, your bed can be heated. Actually, we have heated bed, and extruder 1 right now it is at 200 degrees centigrade, and what I have instructed is again 200 degrees centigrade. So this extruder will be at a temperature of 200 degrees centigrade. So we can start printing now. So by clicking your start print, it will print. So actually your print height or print temperature is 210 degrees. Now the extruder will heat up to 200 degrees centigrade, and your work position, all your nozzle, and this is actually X0, Y0 and Z0. It will be coming exactly at the top. Then after the nozzle reaches 210 degrees centigrade, your printing will start. So you can see that the extruder 1 temperature is rising, and 203, 204 it is, and it will move up to 210 and it will start print. So we can see the layer also, the printing layer 1 of 99. So it will start printing once your all the things like temperature of the bed can is improved, and temperature of the extruder is once reach the nominal level. We can print from 2 extruders in the same time. That is like first layer can be printed with 1 and second layer can be printed with second. Now you can see that the printer has been moved to corresponding position. Sir, Julius, sir.
Yes, Bala, we could see your face.
Sir, this is the model which you have printed just now, sir.
Yes, participants, you could see the models that we printed now. Hope you are all listening. Bala sir, how many layers were there in that component?
99, total 99, sir.
99 layers.
Yes, sir, 99 layers. Total height is 15 mm. Total height of the model. So, as I said, like we have planned for 0.15 mm as the layer thickness. So.